almost like an antidote to war in a way, because it's, you know, it demands that we speak to each other, and that's another part of the appeal.
We're kind of reaching the end of our rope here, and I know the audience is like, we got to go home. We got here like 7 hours ago or something. But I do want to take a moment and just say Trump. Because I haven't said his name all night. And,
Wrong.
And the election's in 2 weeks. And first of all, I want to make can we, in the last 2 minutes of this show, make sense of this guy? No. Or this moment? Or how do we explain this?
Well, after this election, I think we just need to figure out, he's obviously tapping into something that exists in our country, is part of the belief patterns and values of a whole lot of people, right? Not necessarily Republicans, but some of them are, but just a whole lot of people who show up at his rallies, maybe never have been active in politics before. And we need to sort of diagnose and address this sort of latent anxiety in our country after the election. So I think we need to have that discussion.
Yeah.
We have to make sure that it isn't so resurgent that it is in a governing position. But then we do need to, it's not to be ignored. I mean, obviously there is a lot of anxiety for the changes that have been wrought in the last century, whether it's changes in the social sector, same-sex marriage, choice for women, equal rights for women, changes in the economic sector with the decline of manufacturing in the Rust Belt in the Midwest. I mean, these are things that have happened, and you know, there is a latent anxiety there about an America that was. Frankly, many of us are look forward to America that is and will be as a more fair, better, more just America. But it doesn't mean there aren't those that still pine for the old days, and I think that's really what we have to analyze and address.
I wonder if you can offer sort of a Buddhist perspective on this. Would that be useful?
Well, I
don't mean to put you on the spot.
I just sent in my vote, and absentee ballot today, and I hope it comes to be the one who I actually voted for.
Rocky De La Fuente, right? I mean,
huh?
Rocky.
Rocky.
You voted for Rocky De La Fuente for president?
No.
No, okay.
I voted for Hillary. And the reason why I voted for Hillary is because I think she would think before she does anything, and will actually think before she says anything. And with the Trump, I don't know. I could say that. So as long as actually a power of thinking is valuable, and power of thinking is, asset for human being before one does anything, I think, Hillary is a much more of a better candidate than Trump. And that's been proven over and over in this election time.
There you have it.
It's interesting because having witnessed this election, I think what the American public and the world, normally craves in these elections is a war of ideas. It's supposed to be about policy and, the differences in policy, and this is really blurred quite a bit over the course of the last year and a half. It's gone to a very primal and emotional level. I would almost go so far as to say that it is intended to be more scientific, perhaps, and it's actually become more artistic in the way that it's being approached, because we're paying attention to things that are distracting, the tone of people's voices, the words they use, what they wear, things that perhaps have nothing to do with the world that we're trying to form. And so, you know, as a follow-up, I would say I'd like to see a return to actually thinking, you know, because I don't see very many people, they're activated, but they're activated on an emotional level where thought processes are not happening.
Right.
You know, they're either angry or they're happy or they're staunchly in one position or another. You know, it's easy to forget that both sides have good ideas, and you know that the concept behind our democracy is compromise, and it was intentionally designed to make change difficult. There's supposed to be a debate of ideas, not yelling at each other and insulting and using inflammatory language.
No, you're the puppet.
What a nasty man.
Yeah, what a nasty.
What a nasty puppet.
You were telling me backstage how you see hope.
I do, and as the woman, the lone woman on stage, I want to say that I actually have never felt so optimistic and excited about our political process. I think that, yeah, I feel really inspired by the absolute resounding rejection of the ideas that Donald Trump is putting forward. I think it's incredible, particularly for women. So I'm excited. I'm very, very happy, and I cannot wait for Hillary to be our first president as a woman.